So thanks everyone for joining our prospective full-time host site webinar for Montana Campus Compact VISTA program. And hopefully you all can hear me right now. And if you can't, let me know or do some finagling around with your computers. It's also great if you can see the screen because they'll be showing a PowerPoint and some other helpful slides and tools here. And I'm actually going to put, it seems like everyone may have muted themselves, but I'm just going to go ahead and mute everyone. You can access the, you can unmute yourself. Feel free to be asking questions during this. There's also a chat box if you're not able to chime in. And looks like we've got a good group here. So let's start with some introductions. Start with myself. My name is Erin Barstow. I'm the VISTA program manager here at Montana Campus Compact.
I'm Heidi Strohmeyer. I'm the program specialist here at the Compact.
Thanks, Heidi. And Heidi helps with member recruitment and lots of other things with our VISTA program. And she's actually new, so she's mostly just sitting in, and you just get to listen to me talk and show you things for this next little bit. And if we don't mind, if it's not too tricky to, and maybe actually I will unmute everyone here for this. It'd be great to go around, and if you're just joining, we're just starting with some introductions. So I'm unmuting. Oh, now I'm unmuting everyone. So everyone's unmuted. If it gets background, it gets tricky, maybe we'll go back to mute, but it'd be great to go around and introduce yourself, where, what organization or college campus or school you are calling from. And Teal, because I see you, I'm gonna pinpoint you if you don't mind starting us off.
Sure. So my name is Teal Harden. I'm a student at Montana State University, and I am in the Sustainable Food and Bioenergy Systems program. And for the past 2 years, we've been trying to get a on-campus food pantry going at MSU. So we're hoping a VISTA can help us do that.
Great, thanks, Teal.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Nikki Robb. I work with the Missoula Community Foundation, and I've been here almost 6 months, but we're working on our next 3-year strategic plan. And we've got some really amazing programs we'd like to get started here now and in a few years from now. So we definitely want to learn how we can get a VISTA, whether it happens this go around or down the road, but we're excited to learn how.
Great, thanks, Nikki.
This is Craig Behringer and Katie Dodson. We're with Libby Public Schools, and we are in on this meeting to get some more information in regards to what you guys are discussing.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Chris Komar, and I'm from Bitterroot Valley, and I'm here on the behalf of Valley County Museum.
Great, thanks. Got a message from Linda Erickson, and she's with the Veterans Food Pantry in Kalispell, and they're looking for a VISTA to help us grow, is what she said. Thanks, Linda. I think there's a few more people on here. But maybe we'll keep going. Okay. Well, thank you all for introducing yourself. We've got quite a diverse range of college campuses, schools, community entities. We're going to get into a lot more about how VISTA can help you and your organization shortly. So right now I'm actually going to share my screen with a PowerPoint presentation. And bear with me here. So hopefully you all should see, oh, actually, did I mute everyone? I'm going to mute everyone again so we can, seems like there's not a lot of background noise going on, but I'll just do that. And there's Lori Hodges in Laurel School. She's looking to help with community connections, attendance help, and getting dual credit classes. Great, thank you, Lori. Okay, so we're going to get started here. Again, if you cannot see the PowerPoint on your screen, please chime in on either on the phone or chat. We can try to fix that problem. So right now, we just did intros, so let's move on to a little bit of background on Montana Campus Compact and VISTA. Montana Campus Compact is a statewide coalition of colleges and university presidents who are committed to addressing community needs through the resources of higher education. And our mission is to educate citizens and build community. We do that a number of ways, and one of those ways is through our VISTA program, where we really work to foster partnerships between community entities and college campuses, to utilize the resources of higher education, to engage students civically, and lots more that we'll get into in a little bit. So AmeriCorps VISTA specifically, it's part of a larger network and a larger national service tree, and I have a little diagram to show you all. But VISTAs, so again, they're placed in community organizations, public agencies, college campuses, all of the great representation on this call, to focus on building capacity to ultimately bring low-income individuals and communities out of poverty. This is an anti-poverty national service program. Again, it's focused on building capacity for your organization. Here's that tree. So AmeriCorps is under the, it's a federal branch under the Corporation for National and Community Service. I wish I had a pointer here, but you can see in that middle flow chart that there's a few different AmeriCorps programs. We are VISTA, one of those blue circles, and in Montana, we have a state office. So our office, Montana Campus Compact, is in contact with the state office, our state office, to negotiate these grants. So we receive an application from you, and we clarify that with you to meet state and also federal requirements. So there's definitely a chain of command here. And then in that red circle, that's where you are. So as a VISTA subsite, that purple house. So Montana Campus Compact, we are a VISTA intermediary. You are a VISTA subsite or a VISTA host site is what we like to say. Within that, there will be a supervisor for a VISTA, and then as many VISTA members as you choose to apply for and that are approved. So again, that's just a little flow chart there. A little bit more about Montana Campus Compact VISTA specifically. So this is a year-long service opportunity for college graduates. VISTAs must have a college degree to serve, and it enables them to serve in their local communities or a community, to immerse themselves in a community around the country. This opportunity is available to college campuses, schools, nonprofits, community entities, like we've mentioned. Again, the goal, can't emphasize this enough, is to help alleviate poverty. Your project, your application must demonstrate that, which we'll get into in a bit. Members serve full-time, and I say 24/7 because technically they are on call 24/7. We, of course, hope that that your VISTA will not serve your organization 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for a full year, but that really shows that this is a flexible commitment on the VISTA's end, that if there are evening or weekend activities and commitments, that they have to prioritize that. Basically, we see VISTAs serving 40 hours a week, plus or minus. That's kind of the standard, but they are not, their hours are not, we don't keep track of their hours. They're serving in a full-time capacity. That's the definition. Like I said before, the project must build capacity, preferably new capacity for your organization. It's a unique project that you're building for the first time, or a branch of your project, or a volunteer stream, etc. And focus on indirect service. This is important. This is what distinguishes VISTA from other AmeriCorps programs, is the focus on indirect service. We really say that a VISTA project should be 80 to 90% indirect service and 10 to 20% direct service. They're going to be really, again, that building capacity behind the scenes, doing the legwork for your organization to better serve and meet the needs of folks in poverty. Also, your project must align with our program priorities, which of course we'll go through in this webinar. Service term starts this July 24th to July 23rd, 2018, so full year. And the cost to you, we call it a cost share. And there's two different costs if you're an affiliate. So again, Montana Campus Compact, we're an affiliation of colleges and universities. If you're applying from a college campus, or a college campus in your community will host a VISTA, the cost to them is, oh, did I get that wrong? I got that wrong. So the non-affiliate cost is $8,350. The affiliate cost is $6,250. Sorry about that. I'll clear that up. So an affiliate, they pay dues to Montana Campus Compact, so we waive a little bit of that fee, basically for being in a partnership, pre-existing partnership with us. Otherwise, the cost is $8,350, which covers our administration costs of just getting this program up and running, as well as a lot of other benefits that we're going to get into shortly. And again, please feel free to interrupt with questions either through the chat or through the phone. Happy to take them at any time. So our VISTA program priorities. Our main priorities fall under education and veterans and military families. So under education, it's a wide range of projects that we will fund and support, but primarily it's K through 12 success. So really thinking about and prioritizing educational and also behavioral outcomes of students in low achieving elementary, middle, and high schools, which is most of Montana communities, and really to enhance their college readiness. Another big facet of our education priority is college access and success, and that's preparation for and a prospect of success in post-secondary education institutions for underserved students. Again, there's that poverty focus is also there. So can look a lot of different ways. Another way of saying that is to improve college access and retention. So we've got lots of different programs. We can get creative under this education realm. We've had projects with museums before to build educational programming, which falls under and can fall under K through 12 success. Got wide ranges of projects under this realm, but again, that priority must be present in your application and throughout your project. Other big priorities, veterans and military families. This is more loosely defined. It's really projects that either focus specifically on low-income veterans and their families or enhance existing programs for those veterans and military families. Okay, I'm going to keep moving. Another vital component to a VISTA and Montana Campus Compact VISTA project is establishing and utilizing campus and community partnerships. Again, we're an affiliation of college campuses around the state, so this is vital to our mission. And we see that partnership can take a lot of different forms and look a lot of different ways, but ultimately it's to help improve community life and to educate students on those campuses for civic and social responsibility. You might be setting up volunteer streams for college students to come into your organization, into your school, to assist the VISTA in your project. You're helping to address community needs by utilizing the resources of higher education. These institutions are a plethora of knowledge and resources for your community to utilize. And also offers campuses, schools, and organizations the opportunity to build sustainable infrastructure to alleviate poverty. Again, there's that focus there by leveraging resources like student volunteers and faculty research. Okay, so just to put in a little chart about kind of summarizing some points that I said and building off of them as well. So first of all, VISTA, which I didn't mention, is an acronym. It stands for Volunteer in Service to America. So again, this is a national service member. So here's a little bit more about what a VISTA is, who a VISTA is not. VISTA is a national service member, as I mentioned. They're there. They're not. So I'll go from left to right here. So they're not a staff member or a volunteer. They're really a paid volunteer, but there's the title of a national service member or a VISTA. They're there to build capacity in your organization, not so much to engage in direct service. This isn't, there isn't fully red tape around direct service, but as I mentioned before, the focus must be on indirect service. VISTA helps, so that building capacity can take on many shapes and forms. Some of examples of which are developing training materials, recruiting volunteers, cultivating partnerships, etc. VISTA is not a fill-in, so they're not there to answer phones, file paperwork, to coach, that's direct service, to teach, that's direct service, to manage volunteers, that's direct service. They are there for a specific project, which we'll get into in a little bit more in that application, and there's boundaries to this commitment. Now, VISTA is, again, recruited and not hired. So we onboard VISTAs. That's really another way to say that they're not staff. We don't hire or fire VISTAs. It's a year-long commitment on both the VISTA and the host site end. And this is just some more definitions here. So direct service activities involve working directly with individuals to bring about personal change. Capacity building involves working behind the scenes to bring about systematic or organizational change. Some VISTA impacts. So kind of transitioning from an overview about what a VISTA is, Montana Campus Compact, our priorities, et cetera, and more onto VISTA impacts and benefits. So VISTAs, as well as serving your organization, they are learning valuable work skills, they're earning money for education, and they're developing an appreciation for citizenship. big component of this program is the VISTA side of things, of course. And AmeriCorps at large engages more than 75,000 Americans each year in your organizations and agencies around the country. So you are part of a national movement. Congratulations, it's a good place to be. So a little bit more about this, we say that VISTA is like a two-sided coin. So on one side, they're there to get things done for your organization. And I say go like this because they are, the slogan of VISTA is to get things done for America. The other side is that it's a commitment, again, on your end, that you are helping with their professional development, their immersion into your community, into your culture, into your workplace. So it's just a larger picture of the impact that the VISTA is making on your organization and in your community, and that you are making on them individually and professionally. Lots of our VISTAs are coming from all over the country. We engage in the national recruitment for a VISTA for you. We'll get into that more in a bit. We'll talk about recruitment. But lots of times these VISTAs are coming or have never been to Montana before or have never been to your community specifically. So it takes it's going to take a little bit of time to get them ready to fully serve and immerse in your community, in your organization. So overall, the goal is to spark a desire, your VISTA members' desire to engage in your local community or communities in general, and to continue to prioritize service and future endeavors. So it's a long-term goal here. Term of service benefits to the VISTA. So they receive a living stipend of $455.67, and that's biweekly. And you may look at that and say, holy cow, that's not a lot of money. And you're right, that's part of being a national service member. If you're unfamiliar with AmeriCorps or VISTA programming, VISTA members serve at the poverty level. So they're gaining a holistic sense of what it means to live and serve in poverty. They also will receive health care, child care if needed, life insurance if desired, relocation funds from the Corporation for National and Community Service. Again, a lot of VISTAs are traveling from around the country to serve with you. And they also will receive $550 from our office specifically if they're relocating a distance of 50 miles or greater. Other benefits to a VISTA is that they will receive many trainings for personal and professional development and orientation to VISTA, our expectations, requirements, etc. So we have a pre-service orientation, which will be the first few days of a VISTA service. We also offer a Community Building Institute, which is a webinar-based series on growing an organization and building capacity in organizations and entities. We offer a conference called Building Engaged Citizens, which is focused on professional development and making an impact. Serve Montana Symposium, which is a statewide symposium that engages all AmeriCorps VISTA, all national service members serving around the state. And then a close of service, really to wrap up that year and how to move forward and into future endeavors. VISTAs will also receive year-long support from an in-house VISTA leader. So we have a national service member based in Montana Campus Compact who has a year of service under his or her belt, and their service term is to specifically help your VISTA in achieving success, personal and professional, in your site, in your community, in the state. There's monthly webinar calls and check-ins, and lots of opportunities for our VISTA leader to connect with your VISTA and to really assist them and help them through this year. And upon the completion of a full year of service, VISTA members receive an education award of just, $5,735, which they can use to pay off student loans or to future education endeavors. And lots of universities around Montana and also around the country will match that award to a certain amount. So that award can go pretty far. So this kind of sums up also the cost share for you, either at $6,250 or $8,350. A lot of it goes to this, to administrative, but also year-long support for your VISTA, this relocation, the living stipend, healthcare, life insurance, etc. And here it is again, term of service commitment. So there's that education award again. Individuals can receive up to the equivalent of 2 full-time term education awards. Folks can serve as many terms in AmeriCorps as they wish, but they will only receive $11,550 in education awards for a lifetime. Other commitments are your VISTA must complete all reporting, which we go through extensively with them about what that looks like. And again, reiterating that this is a commitment on your end, that you're committing time and energy to fully orient your VISTA to your site, community, state, and engage along with us to help them achieve success. And because this is a federal program, there's with any program too, there's going to be some do nots. And this is again in the VISTA hat, so it's not personally, but as a VISTA, these folks cannot engage politically, religiously, any sort of union organizing, abortion services, consumption of alcohol, and engaging in safety risks. Okay, we're going to now go through our application. And I'm actually going to pull it up in a Word, just in our Word document, so we can really dig into that now. So you're going to submit an application and an MOU with all the attachments and signatures to grants@mtcompact.org. That just filters to me. And bear with me while I pull this up. So right now, you should all be seeing a Word document that's titled VISTA Volunteers in Service to America, Montana Campus Compact. This is application. If you're not, oh, your screen sharing is paused. Well, I don't know if that worked, so we're going to try that again. Share screen. Okay, I think it worked this time. You should be seeing the Word document. This is our application. If not, please chime in and tell me. Also, if it's not, I'm scrolling right now. If it's not scrolling, please let me know. So here's our application. If you haven't looked at it yet, there's a lot of, I'm going to scroll through here, lots of great overview, good reading material, really digging into everything that I've shared with you so far. But for right now, I'm going to skim through it and come to our first the application page, which is on page 10 of this application. First page is basic information about who you are, how many VISTAs you want, if you're an affiliate or if you're not. There's also a non-competing section here where it's $12,000, really kind of takes you out of the running and will work with you to guarantee you a VISTA placement, depending on, of course, the good fit. This should look familiar. Here are our priority programming areas, which I spent some time talking about. So again, this is important. This has to be, these are the focuses of our Montana Campus Compact specific VISTA projects, and they must be present in, obviously by you checking them and then throughout your application. Project description, just outlining what this VISTA will do for you. Again, because the college campus, the role of a college campus in this programming is so significant, we want to know how you plan to use them. They plan to benefit from you and you plan to benefit from them. And now part 2, project assessment. This is really a chance to explain why your project is important and why Montana Campus Compact is a good fit for you and your organization. So when the first question, how will this project specifically alleviate poverty? We're an anti-poverty program, so there needs to be that poverty component. And it's not just poverty rates in your community, but it's how it relates to your specific project idea. So for example, if you're focused on post-secondary college access and success, let's see those graduation rates in your community and how that relates to poverty. There's some great information online about, statistics are available both locally, regionally, nationwide. We want to see those. Again, this is proving how your project is applicable to us and will be a good fit. And also showing how your project will help address this poverty problem. And that's really the community need the project will address, is showing us how or why your programs will address these poverty problems, which I just said. How will your program or project be effective in addressing and alleviating poverty? And again, these statistics are vital for us. As I mentioned before, we run these projects and we receive approval from our state, which is also actually, we must receive approval federally. So these statistics, if we think your project is great, again, the proof is, we need that proof so that we can prove to our state office that this is also an additionally, it's a good fit. That information is really vital. I'm going to breeze through some of it here. So part 3, project performance measures. These measures are wordy, but they're designed and implemented by the Corporation of National Service. So again, we're going to be transferring what you put here and reporting to them. So these, we suggest that you just select a maximum of 2 outputs and 2 outcomes here. Of course, your project will have greater impacts beyond these measures, but for the purposes of our reporting, of purposes of us receiving more funding to run these programs, we have to stick by these specifically. And your VISTA will be reporting on these outputs and outcomes monthly. So we ask for a target area, so your VISTA has a good sense of what they're aiming for. So for example, that first output, G3-3.1, number of community volunteers recruited by CNCS-supported organizations or national service participants. That's another way of saying number of community volunteers recruited by your VISTA. We want that specific target and try to be as realistic as you can, because if your actual result after a year, this is an unduplicated number, if the result is either way greater or way less than that target, we're going to need some further explanation from you. We also want to know the data collection method, and that's really to help your VISTA in knowing how they're going to record and track these outputs and outcomes. So again, be realistic, be specific about how that data is going to be collected. Moving on to part 4, VISTA assignment description. This is the heart of your application here, and it's both a work plan and a job description for your VISTA. And it's so important that I'm going to try one more screen share here to pull up. I'm going to pull up Gmail. I mean, not Gmail. So let's see. So now you should be able to see. Never mind. Try this again. Having some trouble here. Okay, so now you should see a PDF that's actually from our website that says creating an effective VISTA assignment description. So I'm going to go through this very briefly here, but this is a resource that's on our website. I can send it out after this PowerPoint presentation as well. It really goes through why this is important, what we use this for, and again, it's both a position description and a work plan. So these VADs are used to help us align your project priorities with ours. And then also it's going to be a resource for your VISTA throughout their year to guide them in achieving project milestones, to track your progress, and to guide that work plan. So the few elements of the VISTA assignment description, or VAD, or VAD, there's a goal statement, and then objectives and activities. That's the bulk, and then timeframes too. So the goal statement must describe your overall goal of how you're building capacity and community impact. And again, keeping in mind the poverty focus. It needs to be proof that this is anti-poverty work. So I'm not going to go into this specifically, but again, this is a great reference for you. It's more about objectives. They help you identify and articulate what the VISTA will achieve. So what's your VISTA going to do? How are they going to serve your organization and your community? And to be specific and include measurables, that's really going to help you and your VISTA succeed in this year, is that there's some good guidance. And the activities are going to be how the VISTA is going to achieve those objectives. So again, as much detail as you can is going to help streamline your VISTA's year. Okay, and that's pretty much the bulk of our application. So proving that this is a good fit, that there's that anti-poverty focus, that you're meeting community needs, meeting our priorities, selecting applicable and appropriate performance measures, and then the heart here, which is the VISTA assignment description. I'll pause while I get back to our PowerPoint presentation. If anyone wants to chime in with questions, I'm happy to answer them now. Again, while I slowly figure this out. Okay, I think we're going to keep moving this. Anything you want to add to that, Heidi? Okay. Oh, you're not even in the picture. No one can see you. Okay, so we're going to move on now to, oh, and here's a synopsis here for the tips, which everything that I went into. Before we move on, this is important. Please contact us. It's actually, in fact, a requirement to contact us, either Heidi or myself, someone here at Montana Campus Compact, to review and brainstorm your project ideas. We want to make sure that your project is a good fit before you submit an application. I'm all about working smarter versus harder over here, and it will be a lot of work for you to submit an application that isn't a good fit for us or that we decline. So let's do that work before February 21st when that application is due to ensure that you have a campus partnership. We can help you create that or think about how you can use the campus if you're stuck. Also, how your project will fit into our priority areas and align with us. And again, to really meet that anti-poverty component. So I can't emphasize that enough. Send us drafts, call us up, let's talk about it. Okay, now I'm going to move on. So this is the last piece of this this webinar. We'll wrap up soon here, but it's recruitment. So basically, this is a two-step process. You will apply to Montana Campus Compact for a VISTA if you're interested, if you think you've got a good project. Again, let's talk that out. Once and if that project is approved by our state office and by Montana Campus Compact, we will say, congrats, we're going to move forward and help you to recruit a VISTA, which is a whole other section. Basically, having an approved application does not guarantee you a national service member. So a little bit about this recruitment process. We do all that we can to find you a great fit, and we post that nationally on AmeriCorps.gov. We post it on our own website. We post it on blog posts, Facebooks. We have it. It's a great affiliation of campuses around the state, so we'll be engaging college graduates with your service descriptions and your projects. And we also need your help. So we really want you to recruit. This is recruit within your organization and also locally. Say if you think what will be a best fit for you in this project will be someone from your community or regionally, then we need your help to do that. We want you to use your campus partner in advertising these positions to dig into your current organization volunteer pool. This could be a great opportunity for someone who's already a standout volunteer for you to be able to offer them a living stipend and education award to step up their volunteer game, basically, and commit to an additional year of service. To post it on your own social media, your own Facebook, disseminate it through your own newsletters, blog posts, etc. And we can certainly help with that recruitment process. So again, this is after your application is approved, is when we initiate this recruitment, and we're really looking for a full commitment on your end to help with this process. Other bits that's good to know about VISTA, so again, I've mentioned this, they must have a bachelor's degree. They must be at least 18 years of age. They must have 2 professional references that we view on their AmeriCorps application, and then they must pass background checks. So they cannot be a sex offender. They need to pass fingerprinting and criminal background check in order to serve with you. I want to mention there's a little caveat to the bachelor's degree. That's generally, this is our rule and guideline of that VISTAs have this degree. But if you're digging into your local community and if you're having a hard time finding someone with a bachelor's degree, we can talk about it. It's generally, we want either an associate's degree or some sort of relevant experience that matches a bachelor's degree in a way. Screening process. So members apply on AmeriCorps.gov. It's because it's a federal system. They have to complete an AmeriCorps application with those references. We screen and interview applicants we think looks good. We discuss national service, the year-long commitment, living stipends, education award, serving in Montana, etc. And then if we still think that they are a good fit, we talk to them about our open opportunities and positions, and we pass them on to you. And we really want you to be prompt in reviewing these applicants and interviewing them yourself, reviewing the materials that we provide you about our interview, their AmeriCorps application and references, and for you to make informed, good decisions yourself. So ultimately, you choose the best fit for your organization. And then, because we're an intermediary, so we're a liaison between VISTA members or candidates and you. We want to know who you think will be a good fit and then make the offer ourselves from our organization. and inform you, of course, if they say yes, and then we start that onboarding process. Okay, a little bit about supervision. We talk about this as a commitment on both the host site and the VISTA end, so please expect about 5 to 10% per week of your time. And that's, again, really to help members assimilate into your community and your work environment to best set them up for success. And they may require professional guidance. That's to say that these VISTAs, most VISTAs are coming right out of college, and we focus more on energy, a commitment to serve, and excitement rather than hard skills, because lots of times they won't have skills that are specifically applicable to your needs and your site. But again, we're really focusing on what the potential of this person, and we're developing them professionally. We're setting them up for hopefully a lifetime of service and engagement in their communities. So really take that into consideration here. We're not hiring a professional. We are onboarding an excited, enthusiastic future national service member. That being said, of course, they're not staff, but we hope that you treat them like staff and that you engage them as staff and respect and et cetera as staff members contributing to your team. And we also encourage you to think about what is your supervision style. Maybe you haven't supervised either a national service member or a staff member before or volunteer. It's definitely, we recommend that you do some digging on your end to figure out how you want to go about supervising this person. I'm going to stop and see this chat for a minute. Yes, this presentation can be sent to you. Thanks, Lori. And we're about to wrap up here. If anyone, I know we've lost a couple people. So just an overview of our expectations of you is that you aid locally in this recruitment process. It's not on here, but also engage in conversations with us about the application process. We ask that you interview applicants promptly. Many folks are applying to positions all over the state, all over the country, and time is of the essence in getting you the best fit possible. Of course, to support that member once they're assigned to you, to complete all reporting requirements, which is primarily done by your VISTA, and to pay us, to pay those host site fees. Yep. Other expectations, please ensure that campus community partnership is pursued. Again, that understanding that a VISTA member cannot be replaced. We have terminated VISTAs. It's not our first choice. We go through many steps before that process can happen. We're going to do everything we can to help your VISTA and help you in ensuring a successful year. We have got some requirements for, we mentioned those trainings. We also have national service days that your VISTA will engage in. To assist your VISTA with, housing is tough in Montana and around the country. So assisting them with housing if possible. If you know any community connections or can pinpoint specific housing options, that would be great once you have selected a member. And then providing a vehicle to attend your service events or for your service-related tasks. It's not necessary, but that's great if you can. Okay, timeline. Our applications are due February 21st. Clarification period is a bit of time where we work with you, we work with our state office to ensure that this is a good fit and we're following federal requirements. And then we hope to begin recruitment by mid-March, around when spring break is happening in Montana anyway, to get those really proactive students who are looking for opportunities post-graduation. And it's never too early to start thinking about who might be a good fit. We'll also have another orientation for you all as supervisors, closer to when your VISTA will start. And again, that start date is January 24th. We'll, of course, be in communication throughout this whole process, but this is just some bigger dates. And that's it. So we're happy to stay on the call for any questions, whether through the chat or through this phone. Thank you all for your time. I appreciate you coming and learning more about who we are and what we can offer you. And again, we'll just stay on the call for a few minutes.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Teal.
Do you have any recommendations on where to find good local statistics to include within our application.
Yeah. Office of Public Instruction has some great information. I meant to make up a little resource guide, but that's something that we can definitely do. I'm like trying to rack my brain and nothing's coming to mind, but of course I definitely know of some great sites somewhere in my head. So that's a great idea though, Teal. We can definitely send out some guidance here to find some good topics that may help you. But generally, you know, Google Scholar is a great resource, or just of course the World Wide Web, finding some helpful information about your programs, or just searching for, say, you know, university food banks in your case, to see what comes up. And networking, I know I think there's a food bank at MSU.
Northern or Great Falls, I think.
Exactly. Yep. So it'd be helpful if you could definitely, you know, contact those folks for statistics too.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I think we have a chat question. Oh, thanks, Nikki. Linda, thank you so much. Okay, great. This is thanks. I guess I can stop share. Okay, so we'll just be on for another second, but if you feel as though your questions have been answered, then you are free to exit. Thanks again for your time.